That's an ad that we do not want. Okay, am I audible? Yes, I am. Hello. I love every time I start streaming football's going on as well. It's a good time, isn't it? I think it's women's football, France versus USA quarter-final at the World Cup. 15 seconds in. It's a good time. We're here playing Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Now there's nothing on the screen because Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag doesn't have a windowed borderless mode. It was ported. So, at least as far as I'm aware, it doesn't anyways. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, let's actually make sure I'm not wrong. Yeah? Graphics. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not wrong. There's no windowed borderless, so I could have the music playing in the opening. It just had to be dead. Had to be atmospherically deceased. Right, okay. Well, I obviously failed in that speed through, didn't I? It's been 2 years. No, we're gonna go for I think we should go for one of my old. Tyler is Jesus, mate. Let's go. I don't know why I believe Tyler was Jesus. That doesn't make any sense. He's not Jesus. He's clearly a fucking deity. Right. Well, at least we're past the minute, so I won't get demonetized. Let's see what the lag's like, because I'd expect there to be a lot. There shouldn't be any. Bear in mind. It's not too bad. At least not yet, anyways. It feels like there is. Shall we see what that is? Shall we see what that is, actually? There's no lag in dropped frames. There's just a little bit of a frame rate blip. Let me... Hang on. There's VSync on. That would typically explain it. Jesus of Tyler joins the battle. Good old multiplayer battle. How are we doing? What are we talking about today, chat? What's on our minds, yeah? How we do... Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. There must be something in the... Ideally, I want it to just be capped at 30 FPS so we don't get any frame drops and things. Because that's where that comes from. It's from... What if we change the environment quality down and the texture quality can stay... Reduce the anti-aliasing slightly. Put these soft shadows don't need to be stupidly high, do they? Reflection quality could go back to normal. Motion blur can be removed. HBO plus that can stay on. God rays can stay on. Volumetric fog is not necessary. You do not need it. Why is that on? Physics particles should go to normal. How's that? I think that's better. That's better. Yeah, that's what we wanted. Sorry, you don't notice volumetric fog, do you? So, good remove. Have I got any throwing knives? No, I don't. You only get one in this game for some reason, because you have to disarm this fucking twat for it, don't you? Oh. Sir finishing his Big Mac. Where's your knife, though? Oh, you don't have a knife. Right, okay. Punch. I punched a man in... Give. I can play this combat completely blindfolded if I had an audible cue. I do like there's no notoriety system for being on land in this either. So you can just get about Havana murdering people, and that could be all you do for hours. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it, because it does get kind of tedious, doesn't it? Oh, he still caught me. Oh, okay. Seems I need to get back into the swing of being God. Let's go, Lord Fishy. Fishy, oh Jesus fucking Christ. Indeed. I wish you could grab people in this game like you could in Assassin's Creed 2. Because I'd bully the fuck out of these monks. It would just be amazing. Help me, Chagrin. I'm bullying the Inepidagetinon. Oh no, he's just coming out with bad jokes. We can't be doing that. That's one thing that I've noticed as well. It'll be capped as 30 frames if you this is something that's in Odyssey, and I've noticed it. And if you've got VSync on, right, it's capped at 30 frames per second in the menu with a controller unless you turn VSync off. But use the keyboard and fucking mouse. suddenly it goes up. You can't see it, but I can. I can quite clearly see that 60 frames per second. The mouse is probably moving so weird that it looks like it, and everything's so fast and responding rapid that is definitely 60 frames. Whereas with this, it's definitely not. Oh, USA have scored against France. That's pretty good news. Of the two sides, I know which England would probably prefer to face. France. Okay, shall we go do things? There's nothing to do, is there? Just pointless collectibles. Oh, I've missed these, you know. It's a weird time when you can admit that you miss pointless collectibles. Like, every area is done. It's golden. It's finished. Oh, look at it all. I don't want to do the legendary ship in the corner. I don't care for it. But, you know, this is just meaningful content by comparison to half the shit in Odyssey, isn't it, really? I mean, I'm sure Odyssey, it meant well, but it just didn't do well. That's the way to put it, I think. In my opinion. I think commercially it might have been a success. Who knows? Hey, Fishy, do you like fish? Yeah, fish is alright. I do like to scrounge a bit of fish. I'm a bit of a cannibal, see? It's just part of the job. Let's go and plunder some booty for the sake of plundering some booty. Oh yeah, you don't have to charge up in this, do you? Because you're not retarded. Right, okay. You're not retarded, ye old proto-everything. Let's just be rid. We do not need. Let's board man. Oh my god. Oh, I've made a mistake. I've made a humble mistake in my time. Fish is shit. No, fish is great. Fish is healthy. Unless we're on about poisonous fish. You got to eat something healthy every now and then. Where are your gills? Well, you see, I'm not a fetus anymore. Whereas as a fetus, you know how it goes. You have like gill-like sort of system going on, and then they sort of heal quite rapidly after you're born. Or is it as you're when you? There must be. Do you play FPS, COD, or Battlefield? Neither. I'm not a first-person shooter fan. Most of the time. You see, sometimes there's a good game, but it never winds up being Call of Duty or Battlefield. So, I'm sorry. Let's go collect this pointless bottle that does fuck all for me. I think it might... No, it's not a sea shanty. You have to chase those. I'm getting back in the swing of Black Flag. Can't you tell it's been a while? Be patient, yeah? Right, sir. His nan took his gills away. That's why I killed her. Right. What's this then? Sir, let's punch it in. And then, I've got a chest down here. Boot that right in its mouth. Odyssey just fucked up because you had to get DLC just to get Hidden Blade. No, you don't, because you don't even get the Hidden Blade. Darius has a Hidden Blade, but you don't get one. You do not get a Hidden Blade in Odyssey. It's pretty saddening, isn't it? It's an Assassin's Creed game that doesn't even have assassins in it. It has Darius in a DLC, and that is it. I never thought that would happen. I never thought that Assassin's Creed critique could get so basic either. You know, just give us assassins, yeah? It's fine. The soundtrack to Black Flag is lovely, isn't it? Don't forget to leave a like on the stream, share with your friends, hit subscribe if you're new, and also definitely check out that Patreon stuff. I reckon I've got a few things to offer for you all over there if you want it. Best first-person shooter franchise is Halo. I'm gonna add on that as opposed to is, because let's face it, it went downhill pretty rapid. Halo 4 was not an amazing game, solid game, but just didn't feel right for some reason. I think it was decent in all fairness to it. I just know a lot of people didn't appreciate Halo 4 as much as I did. Halo 5 though, I didn't even bother touching. For you personally, I prefer Black Flag's naval to Odyssey. Same. And the few times in Origins we use it, what do you prefer? Yeah, Black Flag. I think I think Black Flag is a more suitable setting for naval because it's historical naval where it was in its prime, if you will. This is, you know, a suitable time for it. Whereas triremes and octaremes are little boats with bows and shit. Yeah, nah. Give me more land gameplay. Origins did it fine, you know, Origins did it right. The naval was sporadic, it was only for a few missions, and you could tell. Because the naval wasn't built for long sittings, whereas in Black Flag, in Rogue, it was. In 3 as well, if you want to argue, although they wanted to try it out, which is why you can't do it willy-nilly in 3. But in Black Flag and Rogue, the naval is at its best. It's the best I've seen it in any game, like, any game with a naval sort of side to it. Fuck Sea of Thieves. I don't even care what Skull and Bones is about. Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag is the best naval game going, because nobody else really bothers. And the only other people who bother is Ubisoft, and they're not doing it well enough anymore. It was fine in Black Flag and Rogue, and then they should have dropped it and gone for a new gimmick. Which they did for a while, with Unity being the co-op, with Syndicate being the self-awareness, and then it came back sort of slowly again, sort of like an Assassin's Creed 3 all over again, but they didn't tell you about it. I just had this amazing feeling just then. Do you know what happened? The music was playing, and then the shanty was being sung over the top. It was lovely. So Gotham is great. It would make me so happy. Please just say Gotham is great. I just did? I'm not sure what you're on about though. You're on about the city where Batman is? Or the city where Batman is supposed to be, even though the fictional city of Gotham? Halo 1, 2 and 3 at Reach were good. Yeah, I love Reach. I think Reach got a bit of it back as well because it wasn't Master Chief, and that's dangling and it's making me angry. But yeah, I did like Reach. It was a good time. You know, I felt really connected to Reach. That's shit. I didn't feel connected to it. I just had a laugh at it. Assassin's Creed Kingdom has Vikings. I don't think it'll have naval. You say that, but Vikings did use naval to traverse a lot, especially, and at the same time, there might be some combat. I rate don't discount Vikings from the naval possibility. Okay, Odyssey sucked. I'm never playing that game again. I'll have to finish the DLC so I can give it that, you know, so I can say I've done it, so that when I do give my criticisms, they're as valid as I can make them. Because if I don't play that DLC, then I'm no better than someone who dismisses a game as shit without trying it. I can say that the base game's not amazing, because it's not. In fact, it's not that good, but it's not that bad either. It's just sort of there and there. Then the DLCs come along and they've just been consistently bad over and over again, and if I want to be able to say that the DLCs had been consistently bad overall, which is what it's looking like, I don't want to say it, but it's what it's looking like, I will have to play that final DLC. Then afterwards, God knows what will happen with Odyssey. Story creator mode's pretty fun though, so, you know, I'll give it that. But at the same time, you can't make a good quest with it. It's not what they intended. It's not the most in-depth thing ever, and the funny thing is they said they made their quests with a similar system. No wonder they're so wank. They're bare bones nonsense. Just script, go here, do this, go here, do that, place it down. Don't tailor it into the world. Just do fuck all. Thank you for that $1 super chat, Super Saiyan Light. I appreciate it. I'd assume that's what 79 pence is. I think it is $1 US. So I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Can you hear it? Tell me the game volume's loud enough for you to hear Bully in the Alley. I love this song. It's just great. It's just, you can't take it seriously anymore, can you? Let's be honest. James has sort of run a meme through it. Bully in the Alley. I should just have Bully in the Alley playing on repeat in the background. I sent you a new tweet with the link to my new quest. I made a, can you check it out? I'll do it when I'm playing Odyssey next on stream. How's that? Bully in the Alley. Indeed. Can you turn up the game music? But the game music shouldn't... You see, people ask me to do that, but then when I do, I can barely hear myself when I listen back. So, Lord Fishy, do you prefer Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag or Red Dead Redemption 2? Red Dead Redemption 2 for sure, but Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag is a phenomenal game in itself. And within the Assassin's Creed franchise. People, right, okay, here's the thing that people chat, right? People go, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag is a great game, but not a great Assassin's Creed game. And I go, shut the fuck up. Fuck off. You're sucking Odyssey's dick. Of the two, guess which actually has assassins in it? It's telling a story to do with Assassin's Creed that's more relevant than a lot of people let on. It's an Assassin's Creed game. It is. And it's a good one. In my opinion. It's got a great character. It's a different sort of take on it. That's the only difference. You don't start off as an assassin. My only criticism would be that you know, that end to it is so crammed that they could have done it over 3 sequences, 4 sequences, or whatever. Instead, over 1 sequence. Not amazing, but this is an Assassin's Creed game for all intents and purposes, in my opinion. In fact, I'd say factually. Though at the same time, there are reasons, and I do agree with them, why people would say otherwise, you know. It's a difficult one to understand, but I think that for the most part, Black Flag does do Assassin's Creed justice, I'm going to say. It's not the best Assassin's Creed game as Assassin's Creed going, but it is, for sure, not terrible. You know, it doesn't misrepresent Assassin's Creed. It's not a bad Assassin's Creed game. It's a decent Assassin's Creed game with, you know, a great pirate game on top. Thank you for your opinion, Lord Fishy. You're welcome. Oh, I did him in. Naughty men. Yeah, let us do them a deedage. Hey, look at this. I've got a big cannon thing. What does this do? Wow. Classic. Goodbye. Won't have to board it. I just have to get up here, but get my gun out and shoot a man. Easy. Do you think the next Assassin's Creed will reference Altair's story in any way? No. Maybe. It's one of those things that there's literally no way of telling. Black Flag is better than Rogue, for sure. At the same time, I don't dislike Rogue. I like Rogue, you know. Rogue's a good time. Obviously, it loses focus a bit. It's empathetic to the villains where it's not supposed to be, maybe a little bit. But that alternative take, that other side, that contrast, is quite interesting. Though I think at the same time they could have delivered it a little bit better than just doing assassin things as a Templar in inverted commas. I love the boarding theme. Fishy, AC game is the best soundtrack for you. For me, it's either Black Flag or Origins. Ooh. Revelations is what I would have thought, you know. Revelations, Origins, 3 has a decent soundtrack. Black Flag, 2, they're all good. I would say 2 and Brotherhood, but they're basically the same soundtrack, barring a few differences. You can't tell the difference between some of the tunes. I think my favourite will probably be Revelations. And then maybe Origins, because that's such a majestic sort of music to Origins. It's lovely and nice. Hey Fisher, just say Gotham is great, just as evidence for the Discord. Don't even ask why, just say it's fact. Gotham is great. Are you ready, Fishy? 3, 2, 1. Gotham is great. What are you going to do with that? Hello, bro. Hello, Iron Atlanta. Hey, Fish, what would make a better an Assassin's Creed 3 remake or an Assassin's Creed 1 remake? An Assassin's Creed 1 remake, because of the two, that's the game that actually needs remaking. 3 got a remaster recently. 1's a game with very dated gameplay that wouldn't fly by today's standards, even if they just remastered it. They need to full-on remake it if they were going to do anything with it, and I would like them to do it because it would just be great, wouldn't it? Can you just imagine if they revamped Assassin's Creed 1, same story, restructured everything, made it its own game, AAA, it would sell like a bastard. And it would also be beautiful and nice. And Ubisoft can afford it anyway. And it would instill good faith, something that Ubisoft could do with always. Considering some of the stuff that they pull. Right. Brotherhood immo. Brotherhood soundtrack is alright. Not my favourite because as much as I like, you know, the soundtrack of the Ezio trilogy, between Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood, I can't remember any of the tracks, you know, from Brotherhood off the top of my head. I can't remember them as specifically being Brotherhood. I can remember Home in Florence and things from 2, but I can't distinguish enough because it's basically just like a Assassin's Creed 2.5, isn't it? If you think about it, it's a great Assassin's Creed 2.5, but still just a 2.5. Just titled Brotherhood because that soundtrack is just there. Brotherhood's a great game, don't get me wrong, but I can't tell the difference between the soundtrack of that and 2 in a basic way. Though there are some memorable tracks, I'm sure I'm forgetting them. Oh wait, hang on, that fight track, that Borgia fight track, yeah, I remember that one. Not my favourite, but I remember it. But you know, I remember a load of 2 tracks. And a ton of Revelations tracks. Revelations is probably where the soundtrack peaked. You know, like you've got your Road to Masyaf, you've got the actual revelation of it all. It's just such an emotional soundtrack, isn't it? Then 3's got a good soundtrack. I do like 3 soundtrack quite a bit. You do get tired of hearing it, but I like it. Unity's is okay. Black Flags is great. I do like. But you know, Unity's could do with some touching up. But like I think it's a soundtrack of the chase music in that is just solid, isn't it? Oh yeah, forget you can't climb out of here like you can in Odyssey or Origins. You have to go to a bit of land like this and go, yes. Where is the sea shanty, my brother? I do love a bit of sea shanties. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood is the best Assassin's Creed game. It took what Assassin's Creed 2 had and expanded on it. Indeed it did. It did expand on what Assassin's Creed 2 had. I would say that it's up there for sure. Brotherhood and 2 are very similar in quality. Seeing this makes me go and play AC again. Ah, that's lovely. What about the Rome theme? The Rome theme. Trying to remember it. How does it go? How does the Rome theme? I don't remember the Rome theme. It's not that's because that one came from 2. You know, it's like the chime sort of thing. No, it can't be. It's. Oh no, I know which one you mean. I just can't remember how it goes. Yeah, no, there are some decent ones in there, but I can't tell that they're from Brotherhood. That's my point. Sea Shanties, yes, where you mix lemonade and Budweiser. Oh, imagine that. No, it'd have to be lemonade and rum, wouldn't it? It's disgusting, is what that would be. Soccer score, 1-0 USA. Which, since he called it soccer, I'd imagine you'll be pleased. Oh, Christ. Right, sorry, I just had a random sharp pain in my stomach. Which is, you know, always great. I think I've been sitting funny. Maybe sleeping funny. Muscles pulled and all that. Ooh, viewers. Jamie swings in to say, I'd imagine Jamie's just chatting on his phone while he's watching the football as well. Because we were chatting shit about the England-Norway game yesterday, where, you know, Norway seemed to be quite a strong team in women's football, you know, in like this World Cup. And then England come along and the game ends 3-0. And England make it to England. And England make a lot of blunders along the way. It was quite fascinating. How did that happen? We need interconnectivity between characters again. Altair and Ezio were heavily linked, and the All-American Saga game was connected. Elise had letters from Haytham, Edwards, Home and Syndicate, etc. It's interconnected, not too much. Syndicate, I wouldn't say was connected. I just say that Edward Kenway is mentioned in passing, because by that point he'd become quite a known figure in the Brotherhood in England. Who was your favourite Assassin's Creed character? Obviously Ezio. You can't expect me to see an entire character's life and then one off with everybody else and not go, that's the best character that there's been, because that's the only character that they've given the chance to be the best. Then it would be Bayek or Altair. I'd probably say Bayek, you know, because Bayek is a character that deserved that sequel, and if they did give Bayek that sequel, I reckon he could have trumped Ezio at some point. But in that one game, he didn't. England team are actually good for once. Well, I mean, in the Men's World Cup last year, we got to the semi-final. England are through to the semi-final this time. They might just do as well as each other, who knows? Guess we'll have to find out, because at the end of the day, England in the semi-final of this World Cup, they'll be facing either France or the USA. So, you know, it does not look like and you know, as far as it goes, you know, in women's football, those are two top teams, I believe. So you could have your work cut out for you, couldn't you? Good old us English individuals. Mate, what are you doing? I don't know. Everybody loves Ezio. Of course they do, because he's a good character. Would you get mad if some reason Ubisoft gave an Edward sequel? No. No, I'd be like, okay. I don't get it, but I liked Edward. So, you know, even if they did a Connor sequel for whatever reason, I wouldn't go that stupid. I would say, very vocally, that's stupidly random, but I wouldn't say it was stupid. It wouldn't make sense. It would be random. But at least it would be a sequel for a character, you know. As long as it's not a sequel to bloody the eagle-bearing Mystios, I will not care. Is that AC Syndicate? No. I'm playing Black 5 right now. Am I late for the stream? I've been live for nearly half an hour, so no, you've caught me live. So that means you're on time. All sports fucking suck. Watch mixed martial arts, you ninny. But listen. You just said all sports suck. Guess what MMA counts as? I've never been a big fan of combat sports, I'm going to say that. Someone who practices, you know, good old bit of martial arts in his spare time. Not a big fan of combat sports. It's just not my thing. I don't know why. I don't know why. It just hasn't appealed to me. I know it's good. I know it's a good time. It's just not for me. I'd take our chances against France or USA watching this game. You know what? Yeah, to be fair. But then again, they've done the same thing that England did against Norway with the USA, which is scored early. Now, my point here is, will they get another one before half time? Otherwise, it could be an even match thing. Is Captain Edward Jamaican? No. Edward Kenway's Welsh. MMA sucks too. So why are you telling me to watch it? What's your favourite shanty in Assassin's Creed 4? The boys in the chat know it. It's if it's obviously bully in the alley. It's gotta be. Can't be anything other than bully in the alley. How can Ubisoft fix what Odyssey is broken? I don't think that they can. I'll tell you what, remake Assassin's Creed 1 and we'll call it a compromise. In the end of the day, Ubisoft have, for all intents and purposes, ruined Assassin's Creed. So it might never be what it was, but they might be able to recapture it at some point. Who knows? I doubt that you know, Origins is the last good Assassin's Creed game we'll ever see. But Odyssey just, I don't know. But then again, they aren't trying to appeal to players like me. So as far as they're aware, the consensus is Odyssey, you know, it was a hit. So I don't think that they'll change very much. But then again, Ashraf Ismail and his team will come along at some point and be like, listen, right, we need to actually, you know, pay attention to the actual Assassin's Creed fans too. Because let's face it, Odyssey was just a Witcher copy. I'd imagine he's got the I reckon he's got the modesty and also the well, I think he has the modesty to understand that, you know, in his, you know, in his job, he's got to, you know, appreciate it, and he probably does appreciate Odyssey in a way, but he's also got to go, that's not a game that I would ever make, and I hope not. I hope he'd make, you know, games more on the Origins Black Flag front, which is, you know, quality games, story-driven games. Was Altair from Egypt? I forgot. No, it was from Syria, wasn't he? Because that's where most of Assassin's Creed 1 was set. I think it's Syria. It's like, yeah, I think it's Syria. Get a good AC game every leap year. You know what, fuck it. I'm trying to get bully in the alley. It's not happening, it's not my meme. The game knows it. Well, I'm playing this right now. Cool. Enjoy. Was Ezio a Templar or was that Genghis Khan? You know, I know that some of you, when you make Assassin's Creed jokes that make no sense, it must be amusing in some capacity. But to me, it just increases my risk of having a stroke. It also makes me a surprise advocate for euthanasia, so I don't know. Ezio Syria and modern day Israel. There you go. How you skip Wild Goose, you monster? I don't understand. Just push my nan down the stairs for inheritance. Okay. I can see that we're dealing with that kind of chat tonight. Oh, the things I do. I have a question. What did I do to ever encourage the chat to chat shit? I don't understand. I love a good stroke. So do I. Oh, it's probably lines like that one actually. The stroke joke that's probably done it. Ignore me. Remember the famous Templar Connor from the Renaissance? Maybe don't. Maybe no. No, indeed. I've had my fill of those kinds of comments already. How much do you like AC Black Flag? Yeah, I like a bit of Black Flag. I thought that was a rainbow for a second. It's just an orb of gameplay opportunity. That is a rift in the space-time continuum. Can you see it just under the health bar? I am the lovely sir. Yeah, now, you know how I made that quest for Odyssey? I am the lovely sir. Right now, there was a tragic happening in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. My quest got removed. I'm not happy about it. Very disappointed by it. You know, it made me not very feel good and nice to find out that my quest that I had made, spent a lot of work on to make I Am the Lovely Sir, just randomly vanished. It vanished. I didn't get an email or anything saying it had been deleted for this, that reason, or another reason. It's just disappeared. I think it got reported a lot, or it just got loads of nappy reviews from people who don't like Uncle Ben's rice. And as a result of all of that shit, you know, Ubisoft just went, you know what, we'll remove it. Because nobody likes it, because everyone's biased against rice. And so, yeah, that's the end of that story. Rant over. I'm not happy about it. Morocco's makes you want to die. Yeah, I don't understand. Assassin's Creed, yeah, I know. I can appreciate a game not taking itself too seriously. Like, a lot of games haven't done before. You know, Assassin's Creed 2 had its moments. So did Revelations and Brotherhood. There was that one running joke of Duccio. Things like that. But get down these ends, Syndicate and Odyssey, more so Odyssey now, and it's just the characters are okay. Now let me compare the humour here. We've got, you know, Duccio shows up. He's a bit of a prick, and you knock him out a couple times. The final time, he's scared to death of you, and the whole story behind him is he crossed Ezio as a young man, and his entire life, Ezio's just, you know, one-upped him at every time they've met, essentially. That's the joke. And the joke in Odyssey was, you have to go find some woman's horse from a place called Salty Bandits after it's been stolen. You get there, the horse is called Princess Purple Pie. I know what you're thinking. What kind of name is that? And then, of course, the woman feeds the horse a fruit, gets on the horse, and then rides it off a cliff. Now, you're gonna tell me that that's not humour that's not taking itself too seriously. That's not humour that builds character. That's not just a good laugh and, you know, makes you smile a bit. That's just fucking stupidity, which you laugh at, not with. Whereas you could have a bit of a chuckle with the game when it was, you know, poking fun at certain things in the past. Like, you know, it never mocked itself. It never mocked its fans. It was just simple, momentary humour, and then it was gone. That is what we saw in Odyssey, in that quest especially, was just plain stupidity. Same with Testicles, right? Okay. I could probably give the Testicles incident a pass if it was a one-time thing. However, it was not. Was it? So let's not give it a pass. Let's break down the Testicles moment. Testicles arrives at the Olympic Games place. You know, he wants to be oiled. He says he likes to be oiled. Saying that he needs to be oiled before he goes to the games is an adamant must. And then suddenly, he turns to the player character and goes, "Come here, give us a hug." He tries to hug the player dodges for whatever reason, as opposed to just accepting the hug. Testicles trips over and falls into the sea, and then immediately gets eaten by a shark. That's something that would happen in a bloody Roadrunner cartoon, isn't it? That is not something that happens in a game franchise that's supposed to take itself seriously. Because that stuff doesn't usually happen, does it? It's a complete tonal, you know, dysphoria, is my point. It might happen in the universe at some point, but it completely ruins the tone that the game is trying to set. You know, this like sense of adventure, this immersion thing. If you're going to have a little laugh, you know, and you should in these kinds of games, a little bit, and you can sort of get away with it, you've got to do it in a way that it's a passing moment. It's not something that changes the entire pace of the game. It's not something that affects the story too much. It should serve to develop characters. It should not serve to completely derail the tone of the game, or the franchise on its whole, for that matter. And that's my problem with the comedy in Odyssey. Did he not also drown? No. It was like he fell in, you looked over, it was like, surely he can swim, and then suddenly it's just a shot of a shark swimming away with blood trailing. That's what we saw. There's quite a big difference from being drowning and being eaten. Usually when you get first bitten by a shark, you know, you're probably going to drown pretty rapid afterwards. He might have drowned as he died. I just find it funny that shark ate testicles in one. He's quite a fat bastard, so I don't understand. Oh, actually, let's go there. Makes more sense. Shay is a legend. Shay is a man. Shay is a dirty boy. Congratulations, this white whale location was shared with your friends. I don't have any friends. Joke's on you. Did Odyssey make a lot of sales? Because that's bad. I believe, commercially speaking, Odyssey was quite successful. And you know what? I'm happy for Ubisoft, Quebec and all that. I'm a little bit worried for Assassin's Creed. But, you know, good on them. Made a successful game. It's no easy feat. And the fact that it managed to be successful as well, that's amazing. Edward didn't go to Egypt. Did he not? I'm pretty sure he went to a few places. I'm pretty sure he spent his spare time like in that area looking for pieces of Eden. It wouldn't have been a very long stay if he did. That would have made a good game as well, like a little linear, you know, side game. Going to all these areas, finding these pieces of Eden, just telling a linear story. Why didn't they do that? We have better things to do than tell stories. We want to focus on the historical period. And then you want to ruin it by telling false history, so, you know what, you might as well tell us a story that's worth listening to. Nah, mate. Ubisoft, money. Don't understand why Ubisoft is now speaking with a Mancunian accent. Yes. Let's turn the colour to the right colour. It always goes to red, doesn't it? I honestly think Rogue had better open world than Black Flag. I mean, okay. Yes and no. Yes, in the sense that the world was better designed as a flat open world. You know, because you could get off your ship at one part on an island in Rogue, and then you could go through the island to the other side where another area was without using the ship. In Black Flag, you can't do that, and I feel as if that's just better structure. However, right, it's just filled with pointless collectibles. Though Black Flag is as well, but Rogue just takes all the collectibles from Black Flag and then adds a few more. No! At least Black Flag had a few, you know, pieces of valid, meaningful side content in there. Rogue just had hunter challenges and things. You know, assassination stop arenas. Things like that. I will not bring my family Liga back. What's a family Liga? I don't know what that is. I probably shouldn't have said it. Can we get an Edward trilogy? I don't think we need one because Edward died quite early in his life. You know, Edward died quite young, sorry. You know, he wasn't around for many years after the events of Black Flag. I think Black Flag ends in like 1720, something like that. Edward dies in 1735, I do believe. Somewhere around that time. And, you know, for a few of those years, he's passed on his genes to, like, Haytham. And that's quite a few years shaved off. Edward could have done with it, you know, like a side game, I think, where we explore a bit of Edwardness. That would have been pretty cool. You know, just him doing the Pieces of Eden and assassin stuff that we missed out on until the end of the main game. That would have been alright. I like Rogue. It's a shame it was so short. It had a lot of potential. It did, and its length wasn't what squandered it. I think the fact that it wasn't done as its own, you know, actual game, it was done as a generation switch. It was done as a coping tactic to keep everybody happy while the generations changed, you know. While they were going full on with Unity, they wanted something to fall back on. And that was what Rogue was. It was a fallback. They didn't invest as much as they could have done into it, I don't think. Time, effort, manpower. They didn't have what they, you know, they could have done with. And in the end, what they delivered wasn't necessarily half-baked in what it was, but it definitely wasn't something that could stand on its own feet and say, this was unique. It was something that just felt like Black Flag with extra pointless collectibles and a Templar reskin, but at the same time you're still doing assassin stuff for some reason. Because I guess Templars are that boring. Yeah, it's like, we want to tell a Templar story, but we just realised that Templars don't do anything interesting. Besides from, you know, get killed. So, what are we going to do? Oh, I know, make them an assassin, but instead of a hood, they have an annoying collar, and they just assassinate assassins. Wow. You know, that's what Rogue was. I don't dislike Rogue, I just don't have anything against saying what it was. I like London. London's an alright city, isn't it, really? What setting do you think would be a good Assassin's Creed game? I don't know. At this point, they could go anywhere. At the moment, they're making a... at the moment, if they're gonna, prove everything that they've said to be shit about what Assassin's Creed is at its core, like settings like World War II just don't account for what Assassin's Creed is. They could just go ahead and do it. I think Vikings would be a sound, setting. Japan, like you got feudal Japan. Ancient Rome would have been ideal, but at the same time, I think at this point I would have probably sighed in boredom at that idea. So I reckon Vikings is probably the best way forward for them. See what they can do with like Scandinavia and Nordic stuff. Since Ancient Rome and early Vikings overlapped a little bit, do you think we might see a little bit of Bayek flashbacks in AC Kingdom? Nah. I reckon they'll forget Bayek existed. But I appreciate the super chat, $5. Cheers, Michael. I appreciate it big time. You sweet legend. I'm just looking at that goal the USA scored against France in the first half of their game there. That's an easy save. The only reason the keeper didn't get it was confusion. And even then, should have seen that one coming. But oh well, I'm not a goalkeeper, what can I say? Just, if England are going to play him at any point, probably they'll be there in the semi-final. It's good to know that, neither team's looking that great. What's your opinion on the quest of the Cassandra and Leonidas? Regarding your fishy perspective, of course. The quest of Cassandra and Leonidas. Do you mean the DLC quest where Leonidas shows up? Oh yeah, that was just complete. You know, like, you know, cool, Leonidas is here. It's a bit shit, but, you know, it's just what it is. I don't think they did it justice because it was just, you know, it's just an Odyssey quest structure. They could have done something with it, and in the end of the day, it was no more memorable than any of the other quests. I could make a video on why Odyssey's quest structure is flawed. I reckon that would be a good video, but at the same time, I don't really want to knock Odyssey any more than I have to, because I feel as if there's a point where it becomes unfair. And at the same time, I'll have to acknowledge that Assassin's Creed has never had an amazing mission or quest structure. Like, it's never had the best structure to missions and things, which is something that I'd have to point out. But people are praising Odyssey and its quests and its massive world, but nobody's ever talking about how one-dimensional it all is. What the fuck? Why did Leonidas fucking rock up to Cassandra? Could have used you at Thermopylae. Could have used just about fucking anyone at Thermopylae, couldn't you? You still would have died. The Persians raped you. I just wish you could one-hit assassinate in the newer games. I understand for being an RPG that would be a, you know, difficult thing, but it ruins stealth. And at the same time, Assassin's Creed has never really been a stealth game, has it? Barring Unity, where it tried to be, and Syndicate, where it tried to be again. It might have had remain undetected moments, but it's never had decent stealth mechanics outside of Unity and Syndicate, where it's a game of patience. You don't like good morals? I'll think on that quest structure thing. It's a good idea. I reckon I could make a few good points. But at the same time, I'm preaching. The only people who wind up watching those videos are people who want to comment stupid things on them. And the core community that we have here. Christ, I've crashed. Oh no. At least it's not my ship, it's Edward's. Is this stream gay? Nah. Who knows? Maybe. Maybe not. The Borgia are at the top of the Templar order. Good old Borgia. They're sweet men. Dirty men. Dirty sweet men. Do you like Greek history? Honestly, no. It's just a lot of writing and bumming, is what it is. No, that's downplaying it. Sparta is quite cool. I do like that sort of side to it. It's, though they weren't necessarily, while, you know, Athens had quite a, you know, an unusual social structure. No, I'd say that of the two, Sparta had an unusual social structure. But for the time, by comparison to today, you know, Sparta was quite a progressive state in all fairness to it. Not stupidly so, but it was quite interesting. I studied it at like AS level for a year and then I failed ancient history because it's just a bunch of reading what Plutarch said or Herodotus or whatever, and in the end of the day I just couldn't be asked. Because when all the history is just written words and that's all it's delivered as, nobody's ever done anything particularly fascinating about that sort of ancient history, it becomes very dull to study. And I did a year of it. Ancient Greece, ancient Rome. I find both to be quite boring as a result. Although at the same time I studied, you know, Stewards, I studied Crusades, and I studied Tudors as, you know, in ASA2, you know, history, just bog standard history, as well as like Russian stuff, Russian Revolution, Soviet Union, like USA civil rights and things at GCSE, and those are all topics that I find, you know, a little bit more fascinating at the very least. I guess for more of a modern history guy, I think that's the best way to put it. If that makes sense, I hope. So that's anything that's common era, really. Well, barring the early centuries. So anything from, like, you know, let's say cut-off point is around 700 CE, you know, and you got your Vikings kicking up stink and things like that. That's where I start to become, you know, interested. best way to put it. Fishy, what is G past the ched? Fishy, what is G? G's just short for guy. What is guy? Past the ched. Ched is slang for cold, I believe. Past the cold. It's ched. It's something that a friend of mine keeps saying when it's cold. It's bad ched. It's nice. Hey Fishy, do you think Desmond will come back after Odyssey? No. That ship sailed. That ship would have sailed 8 years ago by the time the next game comes out. History is good, Brett is good, eat people bad. So I can sit here and talk about history all day. That's a good topic for me. I love my history, but I'm not an Ancients fan. Let's put it that way. If fan is an applicable word to these things. I'm just not huge on ancient history. I'm trying to do German, sociology and music BTEC for A-levels. Sociology, German, BTEC music. You know what, not a bad combination. Good that you've thought of a fallback as well, because, you know, music is quite a limited field, and although it is a good one to go for, you're going to want to have at least a couple other qualifications going. I should have done more than just history and ancient history, to be fair to myself. In the end I only got an A-level in history, didn't I, really, because I'm stupid. Or because I just couldn't. I don't think I was very academic come the end. Though that being said, I literally didn't sit a history exam, and still the biggest of the lot, and still passed it. So I guess I'm good at history, and it's very difficult. So that too. Do you think Assassin's Creed would work in the Wild West? I feel as if people would just call it a wannabe Red Dead Witcher copy of something along those lines if they tried it. I don't think there'll be a market for it, because, you know, I've always seen, like, you know, you've got your old West, you know, like your Western game genre, very, very limited in what's there at the moment. You've got Call of Juarez, and then you've got Red Dead Redemption, Red Dead Revolver, Red Dead Redemption 2. Can't think of any other Western games, really. Oddworld, Stranger's Wrath, but that's not Western, really. God, that's just, you know, it's just runs around with a hat on in a weird world. Yeah. I don't think Assassin's Creed really would have much business in, you know, in a Western game. Like an old Western sort of thing. More of a test of what you remember from when you're taught rather than how smart you actually are. Yeah, to be fair to it. Though in topics like history, English, geography, it brings them all together, what you're taught, into a coordination test, essentially. So, you know how you think it's about general knowledge, but history exams, you could be chatting fucking general shit if you wanted to, as long as you make a point and you stick to it and you're thorough about it, and you can somehow back it up, you will pass with flying colours in history with that. In geography, it's about, you know, you need some skill, for example. You need to know what you're talking about. But on the whole, you could probably get by with that. You're just knowing your shit. in fairness, but there's a lot of wording and things that you need to put in there. And that measures your intelligence. And then in English, your exams are essentially, what can you deduce from this? What can you deduce from that? What do you think is going on here? You know, you interpret things, and that's also useful. And then you've got your language, which is a skill you can use. So, for example, if you take German or French or Spanish at GCSE, or up to A level, whatever, all the way up as far as you want to go. Quite useful again to have a language. In the end of the day, education isn't about how smart you are. It's about making you as employable as possible. And to do that, you need general knowledge of something. So, yeah. Far Cry 6 in Liberia.
Look at the size of hair.
No! No to that. Leave. Leave now. No. Not having a bout with you, pal. Flipping hate science. Science is bullshit too. Science is general knowledge for the most part, as well as practicality. Can you perform what you're being taught? You'll never be tested on it, but the practical is there to be taught as well. The test is just there to qualify for a higher education, remember? That's all it's for. It's to prove that you are intelligent enough in that area, you are knowledgeable enough in that area to understand what comes next. All the way up to when you get your degrees and things, which you'd need in sciences. If Odyssey is successful, why would they change to the new direction? Just because. Did you go to uni? No. I'm not a very academic individual, I don't think. Well, by that I mean I can do it. I just don't think I'd be very content. Okay. Far Cry 6 in Pagan Membias. How about King Arthurian era Assassin's Creed? No. Far Cry 6 with Gordon Ramsay. They could literally set it in a really bad kitchen, couldn't they? And that would just be Far Cry for Gordon Ramsay. See, it's bits like this as well that I miss from the older Assassin's Creed games. Just old details, you know. Interesting details. Found all the Uncharted secrets. Yes. This is what I do when I play, you know, Black Flag or Rogue. I just get about finding the shit. And people enjoy watching it. It's just a simple stream. It's just a fun, simple stream that we can all enjoy. And that is always good news. Right, okay. Let's spice it up a bit. We're going to Kingston and we're going to go murder people. Altair sequel, be a bit late for that. I'd like to see a remake of Assassin's Creed 1. You know, with the good old Cass Anvar playing Altair through the Assassin's Creed 1 story, put in Bloodline stuff, Have a few RPG elements if you must. Revamp side content. Essentially everything that James went over in his Assassin's Creed 1 remake wish list thing, which he did. I found myself in agreement with all the points that were made by all his boys. So yeah, essentially that. I would make Ezio silent. What? This map feels bigger than Odyssey. No, it doesn't. It feels more alive. I'll give it. Actually, no, you're right. It feels more three-dimensional, if only by so much. You know, it's not the most, you know, immersive open world or the most amazing open world going, but at least it feels like a breathing one. Odyssey simply did not feel like that. There's a couple man dead. Oh no, man with gun has seen. You can probably master the combat in this, can't you, really? Because it's not that hard to master. It's not that hard to become good at, you know, pressing buttons. Fight me then. I do enjoy running around with a sword. It's a shame you can't choose to draw one sword as opposed to always just both, because the single sword combat in this game is quite pleasant. See? And come on, boys, enough with the retarded questions now. Why? What questions are being asked? Who is Bayek? Questions like that need to stop. You know very well who Bayek is, Grandad. Hello, sir. Thank you. See this? It's just fascinating. Just fascinating, fun to watch. Seamless nonsense. Yeah. Can't say I haven't missed it. It is tedious over time if you're using like your hidden blade or whatever. But with the single sword, this is quite fun after a while. Didn't mean to fire the first time. What is the most succulent part of your body? My nose, probably. Very succulent. That looked like I kicked him square in the balls, so not happy days. You can also do this until they just drop dead. Usually what will happen is if you do this too many times, what will happen is when you strike them once, they'll just drop. Oh, I stabbed him in his back. I opened him up and stabbed him. Pretty cool. I did not mean to shoot you. You lived though, so pretty lucky on my part. Black Flag physically cured my depression. Fishy, can you go into the bar and drink in time with Edward? Oh, should we do that? I don't have any. I don't tend to like drink spirits like whiskey, rum. I don't drink vodka. I don't drink anything that could actually. I got a fuck off 2-litre bottle of Diet Pepsi. Okay. Oh god, if I'd done that quicker, it would have been funny. Okay, after I've been shot. Ow. I'll go find me a lovely bar. I know exactly which one Kizek would have done it at as well. I should probably get myself a glass. That's a terrible idea. That's an accident waiting to happen. Me with a glass. Like, my wall will start looking at me funny and I'll have to glass it. It's just how it goes. Right, so let's do this. Yeah, this is PC with a controller connected. That is literally all it is, just an Xbox One controller. I don't even have an Xbox One, I just have the controllers because they're easier to use with PC third-person gaming, because you don't want to be doing third-person gaming with keyboard and mouse, do you? It's not there. Where is this island? Where is it? I'll have a marker like this. It's not that one, it's the one that's water, mostly built over water. Not that one. It's a bit bigger. Gonna have to remember where it is. This might be the hardest bit. It's not there. I've just checked it wasn't. Ah, crikey. Crikey, oh crikey, crikey. Crikey, crikey. Could it be you? No. I don't even know. We'll go there and find out. Do you prefer old or newer Assassin's Creed combat mechanics? Ethan, I played Black Flag. Unused opportunities. It might have been that last one beforehand. But it needs to be the one. It needs to be the one where Kizik went. I'm gonna go drink rum. Oh, it's this one. We're in the right place, boys. This is not Odyssey. I should have... Oh, saved by that mechanic in which your arm would have just been ripped off, but okay. We are in the right place. When will Swog Part 2 come out? I feel as if this is advisory as not drinking and driving. Let's get it ready so I don't have to... I've got sweaty hands as well. Fuck. Yeah, you should be as angry as you want. I've only got a plug socket there. Go and electrocute me. Are you blurry? Oh, hang on. My hair is getting longer and longer, I'm sorry. Right, fuck noise. We don't need it. Right, okay, put the controller there so it's not in my way. Give me your drink now. Go on. I need to drink in time with Edward Kenway. Let's do this. Never doing that again. Never. I don't like Diet Pepsi, I've just discovered. Actually, I don't care for it. No, we're getting fucking shit faced. Oh god. How does it feel like feels like I'm the one who's drunk, to be honest. I like the Ripper fight from Syndicate. It was alright. It was just a bunch of go here, assassinating 10 times sort of deal. Hang on, we're not done yet. Drinking wine and whiskey in India, that's kind of illegal. But okay. Oh god. Yeah. Drink 5 glasses of wine. Oh, you can get drunk in Black Flag. I never knew that. I never knew you could do that. And get an achievement for it. I never knew. I'm still fucking drunk though. Doesn't really affect gameplay much. You just can't see shit really well. That's why they make Coke Zero, because Diet Coke tastes shite. To be honest, it tastes the same to me. I don't like excessive sugar. It's gotten to a point where I actually don't like full bland Coke. Like, I'll drink it and I'll be like, wow, that's fucking sweet. You know, it's like, no. Yeah, it's the Pepsi Max and Coke Zero better than the diet stuff. But I've got to keep it in the beat of Edward Kenway. What, Fisher, you didn't know? Yeah, I didn't know that. Am I drunk while sailing? I am. Don't sail and drink and sail. I was going to say sail and drive. Definitely don't do that. You can get the perma-drunk cheat. I don't really want to. I like sobering up. Isn't there a way to change? Oh no, you just do that. Do you? No, there's got. Is there a way? Is there a way to change the hand preference view? It's something that shooters have, isn't it? Oh, is it a new thing that they have a left-handed mode? I know that some games do have like a left-handed mode where not where the controller goes left-handed, but where the view does, so it feels a bit more natural for like left-handers. I'm not left-handed. I find it quite useful depending on what happens. I find myself to be quite annoyingly cross-preferenced, not to be confused with ambidexterity. Ambidexterity is where you're good with both hands. Cross-preferenced is where you're not sure which hand does a better job. I can't write for shit. It's very spidery. And that's with both. That's with both hands. Although with one I look like I'm a 6-year-old writing. I use scissors with my left hand. That's quite, yeah. Don't drink and sail unless you're Captain Jack Sparrow. Push left stick. That's what I was doing. I'm left-handed, Lumfowl. Good man, my dad's left-handed, to be fair to him. My dad uses a mouse in his left hand, even though he's right-handed. Your dad is a sociopath. God, yeah, no, even left-handed people, for the most part, use a mouse right-handed. Though I have seen a couple people who don't. Wherever Jamie's gone, good old sweet little Jamie, I believe he's left-handed. Any retarded questions will be removed and you will be timed out. Fair enough, Mario. Don't fuck with my mods. Hang on a minute, what do they do here? Ah. Is the game still 1-0? Yeah, it's still 1-0, 63rd minute. So I reckon it'll end that way. Who knows? Might wind up 1-1, go into extra time, might wind up 2-0. And not. Yeah, my dad's a spastic. Be nice to your dad. He's a psychopath, not a spastic. He knows full well what he's doing, he just knows it's wrong and doesn't care. Go ahead, stranger. Oh, it's 2-0 USA now. There you go, I got my answer. I like when they attack so conveniently that you have to, you know... Yeah, wasn't a bad one, that one. Holy crap, I just noticed you had a beard. It looks nice, mate. Cheers, I appreciate it. It's not really much of a beard, is it? It's just a bit of facial hair. Just happens to be very thick. But I'm not sure if it's thick enough to be a beard. Yeah, just forget I'm stabbing your mate, yeah? Okay, I do hate that animation. Just way too slow. I stabbed him. I love that move. That is a great move. Instead of just killing people and things, maybe search Black Flag Easter eggs. I can't be arsed. Let's just kill things. Feels way more my thing. Ethan is a murderer. Yeah, killing things is way more thing. I remember doing a video of Easter eggs and Origins, and then you know, loads and loads of Easter eggs, and then turns out there were loads more. It's like, wow, okay. Ethan is innocent. I'm innocent of these crimes. I'm just getting about killing people. It's just how it needs to go, unfortunately. Sir, let's do a deed. I'm gonna knock you all out. I don't even need a sword. I'm a ninja. No prison can hold me. Rest in peace, I am the lovely sir. I wonder how many people played that and went, you know what, that was a shit quest. I don't like Uncle Ben's rice. And then reported it. I'm very depressed. Maybe it was the Uncle Ben's rice Easter egg. They didn't like the fact that I name dropped the rice company. Good old Uncle Ben's. Wouldn't have had enough time for that to work, but okay, cool. He's knocking himself out, ignore him. Man, boy. I'm looking at a pillar while doing that. It's great. Trying to kill a man and Big Tyler steps in the way. Do you think that if Altair got a sequel, he would have been more loved than Ezio? I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's not. These aren't questions I have like answers to in my mind. I don't think about them. It's tough to consider sometimes. It's like, I don't know. It would have to happen for me to know, wouldn't it? I don't know. I'm not really think. I think Ezio. If you now that I've thought about it a bit, I think Ezio would probably still be more loved because he got 3 games, didn't he? Got a trilogy. So a sequel would have been great, but then the trilogy would have been good. But Bayek, he was thunder in 1 game. He could have done with, if he had a sequel, he didn't need a trilogy. He just needed a sequel to be on the level, I think. Sushi rice is best. These men just appeared in front of me, knock him out. It was a clothesline. It was innocent. Like what? Sushi rice is the best. Very disappointed. I don't even know. I'm taking over a fort in Black Flag. Say hello to its nan for me. I did not mean to drop there, but okay. I will have an Assassin's Creed remastered. I think Assassin's Creed 1 needs a remake, not a remaster at this point. I mean, if they did announce a remaster, I wouldn't be mad, but I'd probably be disappointed that they hadn't waited a while and then remade it full on, knowing that that would do much better, wouldn't it? One of the balls just for making me chase you. Hello, sir. It was a lovely old ting. Give me that sword, yeah. I threw him over so that he got caught instead. That's pretty cool. This man's just in the middle, like, he could probably get a hit off. I'm just having fun with these boys now. See? The citizens are fighting back for no reason. I'm the criminal here. I'm just killing them for no reason. They're guards, remember. There is no reason to kill them. I just am. Well, hang on. Stay your blade from the flesh of the innocent is quite a loose saying, isn't it, really? Who's to say these guards aren't innocent? God knows, just a rabbit on this island and it makes me happy. You should stream Sleeping Dogs at some point. Indeed. Do like a bit of Sleeping Dogs. It's a good game. Ezio boring. You don't actually think that. You just think it because it's edgy and cool. Ping pong. Ping pong is a good time. Just get a pong and ping it. You know, good time. Assassin's Creed Origins is the best. Oh, Origins is a good time. I can understand that one. Which Assassin's Creed are the best multiplayer? I've never been a fan of Assassin's Creed multiplayer, so I'd argue none of them. But the PvP definitely did a better job for Assassin's Creed than co-op did. So I'd say, Black Flag 3 did a good job of it. Oh look, it's 3-0 to USA now. Unless it's offside, I don't know. It's offside, right, okay. Cool. No? No, it is offside. Wow. That's wounded, that. It... Sorry, I looked at that and that was quite fascinating. Table tennis or ping pong? They're the exact same thing. I've been in a Unity mood, so I'm updating it today. That's good stuff. Have fun. Sir, let me scram this now. Thank you very much. Who are USA playing? France is who they're playing. And let's put it this way, neither team's playing amazingly by the looks of it. Seeing some decent individual performances though. On behalf of France, I surrender. Should be doing that. You still got, what, best part of 13 minutes and then your extra time to get 2 back. Team should be fighting to the death. Not likely, but not impossible. Tell you what, I was watching the last of 16 in a pub. England versus... was it Cameroon? Yeah, it was Cameroon, wasn't it? And I tell you what, that was a dutty game. There was a man in the pub though who wanted to fight someone. It was just out for a fight. Why go to a pub for that? Surely just punch a man in the street, find the roughest bastard you can find and deck him. Yeah, that is how you look for a fight. You don't go into a pub and threaten to glass the guy behind the bar because he's told you to move along because you're fucking shit-faced. No. Pirates, innit? Yeah. pirates and that. Pirate and that. They call me the Grandfed. They call me Granny Gretamin. Who is the better character for you, Bayek or Edward? Bayek. Bayek for sure. Watch Dogs 3 could have so much potential if they didn't fucking ruin it with the NPC thing. I mean, who knows? They might ruin it with the NPC thing. They might not. Usually these kinds of things, these gimmicks, don't tend to pan out so well. Especially not for Ubisoft. But I think we owe it the chance there. If Watch Dogs 3 fails miserably, I reckon Watch Dogs is gone. So they're gonna want to put their all into it, but at the same time that doesn't mean they will. What time are we on? We're on... Yeah, they've been going for 100-ish minutes, haven't I? So not bad. Hello, Alex Kelly. Please don't spam my chat though. Just say it in one message. I would see it. H, said King of Sorrow. TV, filthy Far Cry. Stop saying retarded shitpost stuff. Hatham wanted sex, which got hell for review. Ah, yeah. Can we not like just chat shit? It kind of makes a toxic environment in the chat. We want the chat to be sort of, you know, at least a bit intelligible, so that when, you know, it's an engagement going on, not, you know, I read a silly message, continue going on and ignore it because it wasn't funny. Ooh, looks like France have one back. See what I say? Yeah, fight to the death. 10 minutes left. They could easily equalise in that time if they try. Might. People will still buy Watch Dogs, that's the problem. You say that, but Watch Dogs 2 didn't have the most amazing sales going. Watch Dogs 2 was quite an overlooked game, to be fair to it. Will you change how I would die? Nah, I'm okay with it. Like, Forsaken's a great book. You should all go ahead and read it if you haven't. If you like a bit of booking and that, book stuff, then Forsaken is a worthwhile read. It's a good book, and it tells a good story, and Edward's death being what it was is important to that. Red Dead Redemption 2 or Assassin's Creed? Red Dead Redemption 2 by a country mile. Assassin's Creed in recent years has done nothing anywhere near as well as what Red Dead Redemption 2 has done. And I say that with a capital N. Origins might have gotten closer, but Odyssey is miles away, and we're judging based on Odyssey to Red Dead here. If we're talking Ezio trilogy, characters are probably around on par, but Red Dead Redemption 2 is probably still the better game than all those. Ooh, France are on the attack, and they could... Ah, it's gone. Right, okay. Yep. It's a proper scrapper going on now. This... What's going on TV, isn't it? Not like a proper, you know, punchy, but it actually looks like, you know, players are trying now, so... Fascinating match to watch on mute while streaming. I need to stop this. What's your opinion about Death Stranding? It looks fucking weird, but I think it'll be alright. I'm trying to write sensible stuff, but it's getting drowned out by bullshit. No offense, guys. Yeah, it's true. But that's not my... I don't understand what I can do to sort that, because no matter what I do, the chat just chats shit. it's annoying. Hey Fishy, fight young defiant lol. It's very annoying when the chat just, you know, chats nonsense. Like, I get that people think that what they're saying is going to make me chuckle a bit. But honestly, I don't find shit posting funny, so... Where can I watch the game? It's on BBC. BBC One, I think. And if you're in the UK, that should be easy to get. You know what? I'd like for France to equalise, because then it would go to extra time. And then it would be a longer, you know, longer match, and then people get cramped and they're in a lot of pain, and that's really funny. I reckon they could, you know. France are looking like it. It's more being played in the USA's half though, so yeah, I reckon France could. Who knows? They might not. Right, okay, let's keep going, shall we? I'm getting too distracted, and I don't like being distracted. Alright? I don't like it. Sorry, I was gone for so long. I was getting a sprite. What's new? Well, nothing really. Nothing's new. Standard procedure for everyone about these parts. I've not had the best week going, to be fair, everybody. However, I'm quite smiley now, so it's good news for me. Just started the week off with not the best news. However, now I'm feeling, you know, it's a rather average week, so yeah, week. We should just have a stream talking about Assassin's Creed game possibilities. Even if I did that, the chat would just be Ezio have big gay, won't it? Don't say that in the chat, because it would just get annoying. But that's the sort of thing that I mean. Is anyone from Big Scotland? No. I mean, maybe there's a couple of Scottish people about, but not me. So that's why I said no. Oh. Big Dave deleted a spammy message. France just got a free kick and they missed it, yeah. Oh dear God. It's not looking good for France at the moment. They've not got long left. Ah well. Ideally they want it down, you know, the USA business end so that they can properly equalise before it so that they can get that extra time and then go from there. But you know, who knows what they're going to do. It's just a bit of chaos. Okay, that's not doing too great for France, is it? They nearly did there, to be fair. Yeah, definitely get Origins. At Fishy, replay missions. I'm about to wrap up anyway. I just want to get these chests, man. I guess Stalin is an illegal word. So's Hitler. For some reason the far left doesn't want you to remember evil historical figures. Completely forgetting how others do the exact same thing in the future. If you forget history, it's just going to repeat itself, isn't it? So, you know, I don't think words like Hitler and Stalin should be blacklisted. Or considered, you know, silly. Whatever. Or inappropriate. Because they're just names of people who happen to be evil. Well, evil. I get... Yeah, they were pretty fucking evil. You could probably argue that case in Hitler. You could probably argue that Hitler wasn't 100% evil, but with Stalin, no doubt, he was a fucking ruthless bastard. Whereas Hitler, he just happened to be just a bit mental and genocidal, apparently. He committed some genocide, but at the same time, it's more his involvement in the Holocaust was more that he didn't stop it than it wasn't his idea, I don't think, that one, though I've never read Mein Kampf and I'm sure he said some choice words there. But my point is, you shouldn't try to forget historical figures who the world's general consensus is they were bad people, like Hitler, Stalin, Genghis fucking Khan. If you forget them, someone else is just going to appear and do the exact same thing they did. Ethan Powell. How is Hitler not 100% evil? He's just a bad guy. How is he not 100% evil? Because in his mind, he thought he was doing the right thing. Whereas Stalin just killed people for the sake of it. Now, Hitler wasn't a great guy. He was fucking mental, and he's a bad guy all round. But he's a bad human. But I'd say there was a part of Hitler that wasn't somehow, you know. Whereas with Stalin, you can't argue that. You can't argue that there was. Now, I'm not saying Hitler's a good guy or a great guy or whatever. He's a fucking bad one. So, but Stalin was just... Stalin is unambiguous evil, you know. And it's very rare that you get that. Yeah, it's a bit of a... You're really strumming my chords. It appears as if it's annoying when you... Wise words from Ethan. No, trust me. All I'm trying to say here is you shouldn't blacklist the names of historical people just because they did bad things. Because if you do that, someone else is going to do those bad things too. And that's the last thing anyone wants. That's all I'm trying to say. Oh, I see Ethan as a Tory. I'm actually not, though. Stalin and Hitler, your foster parents. Oh dear. Stalin erased people from history. And, you know, he just wasn't a good guy, was he? In no sense of the word. Hitler is 100% evil. See, I'm not saying he's not evil. He wasn't evil. He probably was evil. But 100% is a bold statement, even at that level. Because you have to understand things like the Holocaust. That wasn't him. That was more his boys. He didn't stop it. That's his point in the Holocaust. I did a lot of looking. I've done a lot of research here. I'm just trying to say, right. You've got Stalin at the top, and he essentially erases people from history. His actions resulted in the deaths of hundreds. Well, I think it's more dozens of millions. Is that right? 50-odd million, something like that. Not hundreds of millions. That's stupid. Hitler's death toll is pretty bad, but he's got delegates that are just doing his bidding. But at the same time, under him, there was room for interpretation, which is where things like that came in. Whereas with Stalin, it's just what he said. It's retarded if we fucking remove record of Ivan the Terrible or some shit. Oh, he was pretty. Vlad the Impaler, people like that, fucking nutters, aren't they? I think Vlad the Impaler, you could say, was 100% evil. Somebody who enjoyed brutality. Somebody who, you know, took pleasure in it. That is 100% evil. Sure, they're all evil. I'm just saying, of all the historical figures, I wouldn't say that I could argue that you need to remember these ones. Like, you can forget some of them, like the real unambiguous evil ones. But the people who think that they're doing good but are actually doing evil are the ones that you need to remember. Otherwise, what happens is you wind up with them doing it again. You know, that's my point. Let's stop talking about that because it's teetering on politics, and I'm not happy about it. I think I've said my piece, and in my mind it makes sense. I'm not saying anyone was a good guy, because they were fucking not. The fall of Stalingrad made Stalin sad, but when Hitler died it made Stalin... Okay, chill. Why am I being bitten by snakes and that? Jordan's having fun learning. I know how much you love it. Oh, Jordan does is about, is he? Oh yeah, he posted like a yeah, hectic conversation is what it is. But from the perspective of somebody who's actually studied the history, it makes sense to me. You know, that's what I'm trying to say. You know, like, I'm not saying he was a good... I think people have mistook me for a moment there and thought I was saying it was a good guy, or that he wasn't evil. He was pretty evil, but 100%... Complicated question. I'm lucky, like 30 seconds left. USA v England. Oh dear. That's gonna be a fight, isn't it? Watch them absolutely fucking 2010 Germany us. Oh god. I can't hear the stream because my dog has gone right mad. Nice. Where's the lamb sauce? I think we've teetered onto the historical argument way too much there. I could easily... I could make my historical points all the time because I know who's doing what, you know. Those red lights make my eyes bleed. And look over there somewhere. Look, over there. It's not difficult. Just comparing dictators never ends up looking good. For sure. It's not a comparison of the dictators, though. It's a reason as, in history, there are worse people going than them too. Because, well, not because of what they're doing, their kill ratio is pretty nasty, but that's the effect that they have. I don't think, you know, cunt face McHitler ever took pleasure in what he was doing, whereas serial killers, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm talking about the history here, not the politics, by the way. Anyways, that's enough of that, because I feel as if my point won't be heard. Turkey v Greece, now that is a rivalry. Does Jamaican Assassin's Creed game on World War I or World War II? Oh no. I understand your point. Fair enough. How bad is Fidel Castro? He was just a bit of a West fella, wasn't he? I don't know. Do you like Assassin's Creed 4 setting? Yeah, it's alright. I'm going to wrap up this stream. I tell you what, that was quite an interesting conversation. There is worse than Hitler in that independent state of Croatia. I don't know. And let's not get into politics with it, because that's not the point. What was I trying to say? Oh yeah, my point was, I don't know. I think he was just a retard in Assassin's Creed lore, and was Hitler, which would make some sense. Okay, why's Facebook been open in the background? I've forgotten my point entirely, because my point here is, in the end of the day, there's censoring a name on like YouTube or whatever, so that when you type it, it gets censored. It's just not a good sign. So it doesn't matter how evil they were; their actions are what's evil. Well, the most evil, and that's what will be repeated if you forget. That's my point. That's just what I'm saying. It's just what history's about. Anyways, thank you all for watching this stream. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, share the channel with your friends and all that wonderful stuff. And I'll see you all very soon with another video or stream at some point. That would be great. But yeah, see you later.